Good morning, Chazak Baruch to our Hazan this morning, Chazak Baruch Eliyahu. Yesterday we discussed the halachot of the walls of a sukkah, which is properly being done. The first thing that you do to build a sukkah, we first always make the walls, make sure the walls are kosher, and then put on the schach. If not, it's considered ta'aseh v'lo min ha'asui. Imagine if someone put 4 posts up with the frame on top, and they put the schach, and then they built the walls, the sukkah is invalid. Now it doesn't mean the whole thing is going to be taken down. We said you pick up the schach and put it back down. It doesn't even come off and down, you just lift it up and down, a tefach, and that is fine. Now let's get to the halachot of schach, the roof of our sukkah. That is the most important part of our sukkah. As we explained yesterday, the walls can be made out of iron, steel, brick, wood, glass, anything that a person wants. The whole point of the sukkah being a temporary dwelling place is all in the roof, all in that schach. So now, schach has 3 conditions for it to be considered kosher. Number 1, it has to be something that has grown from the ground, which disqualifies many different things. So it has to be grown from the ground. Number 2, it has to be now detached from the ground. And it has to be something that is not susceptible to impurity. Meaning, if I take wood that grows from the ground and I cut it, so we already got the first 2 prerequisites. However, I turn it into a utensil, and then I take that utensil as is, and I put that on my roof for the schach is not kosher. If you take a chair, a wooden chair, a wooden table, any other type of wooden utensils, since they were already made into a utensil, they are susceptible to impurity. They're not allowed to be used as schach. Now, susceptible to impurity, according to the way the Talmud said, it's not practical nowadays. However, still, you cannot use that as schach. We're going to now discuss the schach itself. If you have a space, what if you have a beam, you have something non-kosher over there, what disqualifies the sukkah and what doesn't? So the law is as follows. We'll work from the outside in. If you have 4 amot, which is approximately 6 feet, of non-kosher schach, or a left, let's say the lip of your roof. You know, in your backyard you have the roof, let's say the roof continues over. If you have up to 6 feet, and then your sukkah starts, that's fine. That wall can still be considered as one of your 3 prerequisite sukkah walls. So you cannot sit under there, right? Women, children who are not obligated like men are, could sit there ideally, even ideally. However, one does not now lose their sukkah, or at least that wall. You have 4 amot, which is 6 feet. So that could even go around all 4 of the walls. For example, let's say this room, if the roof could be removable, and we had less than 6 feet, let's say the soffit, okay, the soffit's not 6 feet. If that soffit stayed and the schach sat in the middle of it, perfectly fine. So that's the first halakha. As the Talmud refers to it as dofin akuma, it's as if the wall is bent, and it's fine. You can't sit under it though. That's the first. Second is in the middle of the sukkah. If in the middle of the sukkah you have something which is not called kosher schach, let's say a large metal beam, or even, well, sukkah decorations is another concept, but let's just say a large metal beam, or something which is not kosher to be used as schach, then if it is 4 tefachim wide, which is 16 centimeters. Yes, 16. What? Inches. Inches. Sorry. If it's 16 inches wide, then it disqualifies the whole sukkah. Okay? Unless your sukkah is large and you have 3 walls on this side and 3 walls on this side. But for all intents and purposes, if you have something so large that it is 16 inches wide, it now disqualifies the sukkah. If it's less than that, it's fine. However, you cannot sit under it if it's less than 9 inches. You get it? Now, air, I'll draw it for you after maybe during the shiur so we understand. What? Okay, then if you have air, let's say if your schach is not touching, what amount disqualifies your sukkah? You need 3 tvachim, which again is going to be, sorry, I'm getting the numbers wrong. Each tefach, we said, is 8 centimeters. Okay, so 8 centimeters. If you have 3 tvachim, if you have 24 centimeters of air, that disqualifies it. Okay, then if you're going to have 32 centimeters of non-kosher schach, that's when it disqualifies it. Okay, so it's basically 4 tfachim of non-kosher schach disqualifies the sukkah, 3 tfachim of air disqualifies the sukkah. Anything less than that, not a problem. You could sit under it, and you could even, the sukkah is obviously kosher. I'll draw it out for us from the beginning of the shiur so we see exactly what that means, but that's the halakha for schach. If anyone has any questions, take a picture, send it to me. Yeah, stop it.
Does schach have to be touching each other?